ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। So I am very happy to be here present today amongst all of you in this wonderful Purushottam Mass. And the Purushottam Mass, it is also known as the Mala Mass. Mala Mass is materially, from the material point of view, it is considered as impure. Therefore, it is called as which Mass? Mala Mass. And therefore, no materially auspicious things are carried out usually in this particular month. So, it is called as Mala Mass or an impure month. But during Mala Mass, the Vaishnavas also call Mala Mass as Adhik Mass. So Adhik Mass is where we can perform some additional bhajan towards Shri Krishna, and we are very happy that in this Adhik Mass all of us have gathered here together to do little extra bit in Shravanam and Kirtanam, and very happy to be here in the presence of all of you. We will begin with a statement by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says something in the purport to the first mantra of Shri Ishopanishad. What Prabhupada says is in front of us. Mataji, kindly read what Srila Prabhupada says in the first mantra purport of Shri Ishopanishad.
The words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurushaya, which indicates that they are not delivered by any mundane person. A living being who lives in the mundane world has 4 defects. He is certain to commit mistakes, he is subject to illusion, he has a propensity to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. No one with these 4 imperfections can deliver perfect knowledge. The Vedas are not produced by such an imperfect nature.
So, wonderful purport that Prabhupada says, the words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurushaya. The term Apaurushaya comes from the term Apurush. Apurush means non-human source, and which indicates that they are not given by a mundane person. And then Srila Prabhupada lists that a living being who lives in the mundane world has how many defects? 4. Now I will give the Sanskrit names of these 4 defects, and I will try to explain these 4 defects. The first defect, dear devotees, please repeat after me. The technical name is Brahma. Brahma is what is known as illusion. So what is Brahma? Illusion. When we mistake one object for another object because we don't know what the reality is, this defect is known as Brahma. Classic example of Brahma is given in Vedanta, that in a dark night you are walking and then suddenly there is a rope on the ground, but you don't realize that it is a rope. You mistake the rope for something else. What do you mistake the rope for?
Snake.
At this point, do you realize, do you know that it is a rope? No. So when you don't know the reality and you mistake one object for another object, that defect becomes known as Brahma or illusion. In Brahma, you don't know the reality. Second, please repeat. Pramada. Pramada is making mistakes due to inattention. This is called as pramad. In pramad, you know the reality, but still because of inattention, you end up making a mistake. For example, classic example of pramad is, in my childhood, I wrote the English exam many times, and in English exam, the spelling of there, THIER. No? TH? Yeah. Oh, achha, sorry. Yeah, I knew the correct spelling, but I ended up writing the incorrect spelling. This is called as pramad. What is it known as? Pramad. In pramad, are you aware of the truth? Yes. But you still end up making a mistake. And what is the reason for making the mistake? Inattention. So pramad is another name for inattention. What is pramad known as? Inattention. This is the difference between Brahma and pramad. That in Brahma you are not even aware of what the real thing is. In pramad you are aware of what the reality is, but you still end up making a mistake because of one factor. And what is that one factor? Inattention. This is pramad. Third, please repeat. Vipralipsa. Vipralipsa is the tendency to speak a lie, to cheat others. In Vipralipsa, we know we are making a mistake, we know what is the reality, and we still deliberately end up making the mistake because we want to cheat the other person. This is known as Vipralipsa. For example, when you go to a shopkeeper and the shopkeeper says, "Sir, 25% discount exclusively for you." Is the discount exclusively for you or is it for many people? Many people. But he is speaking at this point of time, he is trying to give you 25% as a discount and trying to sell you the incorrect idea that it is only for you. This is cheating tendency, also known as what? Vipralipsa. And fourth is, please repeat. Karana Patava. Karana Apatava. Karana means instrument, the senses. They are apatu, they are non-expert. Therefore, this defect is non-expertise of senses is called as Karana Patava. If the first three defects are not there, this final defect is definitely going to be there. That the living entity's senses are heavily limited. We can't see things which are far away. We can't see things which are very close to us. This is called as Karana Patava. Can I see anything which is kept on my head? No. Can I see anything in the room above? No. This is because of which defect? Karana Patava. Total, there are how many defects? 4 defects. But Prabhupada says no one with these 4 imperfections can deliver perfect knowledge, and the Vedas are not produced by such an imperfect creature. So, dear devotees, Bhagavan is perfect or imperfect? Perfect. Because he has given which literature? Vedas. And Vedas are free of how many defects? 4 defects. So, wonderful understanding. What to speak of? Bhagavan, even the Acharyas don't have 4 defects. And it is specified in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please sing after me. Brahma Pramad Vipralipsa. Brahma Vipralipsa. Karana Patava. Harsha Vigya Vakya Nahi. First line we understand. What is the first line, dear devotees? Brahma, illusion. Pramad, inattention or making mistakes. Vipralipsa, cheating tendency. And Karana Patav, imperfect senses. Arsha Vigya Vakya, in the sentences of the rishis, of the authoritative sages, Nahi Dosha Eisaba. These defects do not, are not present. Alright, so Mataji, please read the translation.
Mistakes, illusions, cheating, and defective perception do not occur in the sayings of the authoritative sages.
Mataji, please look at the translation clearly. What is Brahma? So what is the first term that is translated?
Mistakes.
What is Pramad?
Mistakes.
And what is Pramad translated as?
Illusion.
Imperfect.
Illusion.
Dear devotees, I have just copied the translation. You can verify it. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 2.86. When I read it for the first time, there was a slight trigger in my mind. Arey, Brahma should be what? Illusion. And Pramad should be mistakes. But the translation says mistakes and then illusions. So there, in my mind, there is a doubt. Are we really able to digest the fact that the acharyas or the great devotees do not have any of the mistakes or defects? And this is a very sensitive subject matter, dear devotees. I cannot ask anybody. If I ask anybody, they will say, don't even speak about it. Isn't it? Huh? So, dear devotees, therefore we need to approach the subject matter with great care, because sometimes we will notice that there are some apparent mistakes, but how to understand these apparent mistakes? This is what we have to understand. How many of us are interested to understand this particular subject matter from the previous acharyas and Srila Prabhupada? Please raise your hands. A mature understanding of the entire subject matter. Dear devotees, at one point of time, Srila Prabhupada himself was asked about it. So here is a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, where the disciples are asking Srila Prabhupada about how do we see any apparent mistakes in the pure devotees. So here is a morning walk conversation on 8th April 1975. I will speak what His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj is saying. Taji, you speak what Prabhupada says. Okay. So Maharaj says, they know everything and they are perfect in everything. But sometimes from our material viewpoint, we see some discrepancies. Just like we think that
Because material viewpoint, the viewpoint is wrong, therefore you find discrepancies.
so we should think that we have the defect.
Yes, Acharya is explained. Bhakti Samshanat, CC Adi 1.13. One who's preaching the cult of devotional service, he is Acharya. Then why should you find any discrepancy?
Just we see, for instance, sometimes the Acharya may seem to forget something or not know something. So from our point of view, if someone has forgotten, that is
No. Then
an imperfection.
that is not the. Then you do not understand. Acharya is not God, omniscient. He is a servant of God. His business is to preach bhakti cult. That is Acharya.
And that is the perfection.
That is the perfection. Hare Krishna.
So dear devotees, in very clear words, Srila Prabhupada specified what is the perfection of the Acharya. What is the perfection of the Acharya that he is speaking about? Which science? Bhakti Yoga. That is the perfection. Can we expect the Acharya to display the same characteristics as Bhagavan?
No.
Is there a difference between Acharya and Bhagavan? Yes. Prabhupada says Acharya is not God, and comma, he adds something. Omniscient. Bhagavan is not omniscient. God, Acharya is not omniscient. But Bhagavan is omniscient, yes or no?
Yes.
So Prabhupada makes it very easy for us to understand so that we don't fall into some sort of incorrect idealism. The perfection of the Acharya is that the Acharya is speaking about one yoga. Which yoga is the Acharya speaking about?
Bhakti Yoga.
And because the Acharya speaks about Bhakti Yoga by reference to the Vedas and Shastras. And dear devotees, are the Vedas and Shastras perfect or imperfect?
Perfect.
Because the Vedas are perfect, they are called Apaurushaya. So Acharya speaks about Bhakti from Apaurushaya Vedas. So whatever the Acharya speaks, that becomes perfect or imperfect?
Perfect.
That is the perfection of the Acharya. And then, final statement. So we have a misunderstanding about what perfection is. Is it?
Yes, perfection is here. How he is preaching bhakti cult, that's all.
Oh, wonderful. Dear devotees, now we have a slightly clear idea. Perfection of the Acharya is that the Acharya is speaking which yoga? Bhakti yoga. That is the perfection of the Acharya. And while speaking about Bhakti Yoga, the Acharya is speaking strictly from one literature. Which literature?
Vedas.
Vedas and Shastra, Puranas. Ved, Itihas, Puranas, Shastras. Because the Acharya speaks from Shastra and because the Shastra is perfect, therefore the Acharya is perfect. I hope you are able to understand. This is our understanding of perfection. The Acharya is speaking from which source? Vedas. And the Vedas are perfect. Therefore the Acharya is perfect. This is the vision, this is the understanding that we Gaudiya Vaishnavas have. Now, dear devotees, I'll ask a very simple question. Let's say today any devotee speaks about bhakti from the Shastras, from the Vedas, and they properly translate it. Their speech is perfect or imperfect? Perfect. Because they are speaking from which source? Vedas. Now, if that same devotee starts speaking about bhakti from the Shastra 24 hours a day, their speech will become perfect or imperfect?
Perfect.
That's what an Acharya is. The difference between regular devotees and an Acharya is that an Acharya speaks 24 hours mainly from which literature? Vedas. And does not speak anything from speculation. That is the difference between a regular individual who is still trying to progress on the path and an Acharya. That is the difference. But, dear devotees, sometimes when it is not related to speaking about bhakti, when the Acharya is doing other tasks of the material world, sometimes you may apparently see some which mistakes, dear devotees? Worldly mistakes. Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan specifies in his Siddhanta Darpan, very important Siddhanta. Please sing after me. Jiva Vakyeshu Labhyante Jiva Dharma Brahmadayah Vede tu naiva te santi Sarvagya Vachanochaye Jiva Vakyeshu. In the Vakya, what is the meaning of Vakya, dear devotees? When word statements of jivas, of ordinary jivas, all jivas, labhyante, you will find jiva dharma, the characteristics of jivas. What are they? Brahma adi. Brahma adi means Brahma, etc. How many are there total? Four. In the words of all jivas, you will find the characteristics of jiva such as Brahma, Pramad, Vipralipsa, Karana Patav. But Vede tu naiva, you will not find these four in which source? Vedas. Na santi, they are not there. Why? Sarvagya Vachana Uchchaye. They are the Uchcha, they are the collection of the words of Sarvagya, omniscient Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Therefore, in the Vedas, you will not find how many defects? Four defects. Here is the translation. Kindly read the translation of this.
In the statements made by all living entities, we may find inherent faults,
Such
illusion,
as,
etc. These faults are part of the existence of all living entities. Such faults, however, are not present in the Vedas since they are the words of the omniscient Supreme Lord.
So, sometimes if the Acharya is speaking about a worldly subject matter, he is not speaking about bhakti, and he may not be referring to the Shastra, is there a possibility that we may observe an apparent defect?
Yes.
Yes. I hope you are able to understand. Does this reduce the perfection of the Acharya? No. It doesn't reduce the perfection of the Acharya. Because the perfection of the Acharya is that the Acharya is spreading which yoga? Bhakti yoga. And when he speaks on Bhakti yoga, he speaks exactly from where, dear devotees? Vedas. But when he is speaking about worldly subject matters, then there may be a possibility that there may be certain apparent mistakes that we may see. But that does not reduce the stature of the Acharya for us. Because the stature of the Acharya is that in terms of Bhakti Yoga, he is perfect. That is the perfection of the Acharya. Now, Sri Jiva Goswami also wrote something about this in his Harinamamrit Vyakaran. Harinamamrit Vyakaran is a literature of Sanskrit grammar, and in Sanskrit grammar there is a mistake pade pade. You can make a mistake at any step. It is such a delicate field of knowledge, Vyakaran. And Sri Jiva Goswami, at the very end of Harinamamrit Vyakaran, before giving it to his disciples, he wrote one verse at the end. This is the verse that Sri Jiva Goswami has written at the end of Harinamamrit Vyakaran. Yadatra vyaktamuktam na Brantam va tadasheshatah Yeyam shodhyam cha vigyebhyo Vigya shastra avalokatah Yad atra vyaktam na, whatever I did not express here clearly, Uktam na, or whatever I totally forgot to mention, Bhrantam va, or if there was something which was mistaken, Tad asheshatah gyayam, you should know it thoroughly. Shodhyam, and you should purify it. And how should you know and purify it? Vigyebhyo, by consulting the other experts in the field of grammar. Vigya shastra avalokatah, by referring to the great literature of grammar in the other sampradayas which are very authoritative, such as Panini, etc. So dear devotees, Sri Jiva Goswami did not encourage blind following. He said that because grammar is pertaining to this material world, and therefore there are many chances that in what I wrote there may be some apparent mistakes. But if you see that, immediately correct them and learn what is the correct thing. He did not say that if you see any mistakes, you change the dictionary. I hope you are able to understand. So this sort of a foolish idealism was not encouraged by Srila Jiva Goswami. Here is the translation of that particular verse. Please read.
In this literature named Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, whatever has not been expressed clearly should be thoroughly researched out, and whatever errors have creeped in should be thoroughly corrected by referring to other systems of grammar, such as Panini, etc., and the words of experts in such fields.
So dear devotees, here is how we have mature faith in the Guru. That the Guru is perfect because the Guru is speaking the message of which Shastra, dear devotees? Vedic Shastra. And Vedic Shastra is perfect and free from all defects. Therefore the Guru is perfect. This is our mature understanding of the perfection of Guru. Any apparent defects are seen in the Guru because first, the framework of the material world itself is defective. The Guru is operating in which world? Material world or spiritual world? Material world. And the framework of the material world itself is defective. There are many mistakes which happen just because you are in the material world. The framework itself is defective. Secondly, the modes of communication, languages, etc. employed by the pure devotee in the material world may not be perfect. I'll ask a simple question. In which language did Srila Prabhupada write his books? English. If you go 300 years ago and you meet 300, 400 years ago, you meet Shakespeare and you speak this English, he said, these people don't belong to me. I don't know these people, which language they are speaking. Are we speaking the English from Shakespeare or are we speaking a completely different English?
Completely different.
Now, whose fault is it? Is it the Acharya's fault or the fault of the language? Language. That the language changes every 100 or 200 years. In fact, there are some words in Srila Prabhupada's books which nowadays it is difficult to use in day-to-day life because the people outside don't even know these words. I will tell you one such word, which one time I was carrying my bag, my DTs I was carrying, and there were utensils of the DT also in the bag. So in the security, they saw the utensils and they wanted to check. So they opened the bag and they said, "What is this?" So I said, "This is my DT paraphernalia." What? DT what? Perhaps ISKCON is the only society where this term is still existing. Which term has fallen out of use, dear devotees? Paraphernalia. So, this term paraphernalia is now slightly out of use. Acha, whose mistake? Acharya's mistake or language mistake? Language itself is defective. There is one language which has not changed for millions of years. Which language is that? Wonderful. That is the language of Vedas. And because it is the language of the Vedas, it is in version 1.0. Acha. Another reason why sometimes apparently we may see defects is because the devotee may be quoting an authority from the material world, and that authority may turn out to be imperfect. Sometimes you may ask a material question from the material world to the Acharya. Now, for example, I ask a question to all of you, dear devotees: is Pluto a planet? Yes or no?
No.
No? Look here, dear devotees. Yes, Pluto is a planet, says whom? NASA. Alright, now please tell me, is Pluto is a planet, yes or no?
Yeah.
The devotees, here another news article. Why? Pluto is no longer a planet. So you ask the Acharya about such a question, and the Acharya quotes one of these two authorities, and later that authority is debunked by another authority. So you say, oh, the Acharya gave us incorrect knowledge. So is it the Acharya's mistake or the mistake of the authority from the material world? Mistake of the authority. Therefore, what Srila Prabhupada said is perfect, that the Acharya is perfect because he is speaking about which yoga?
Bhakti yoga.
And he is speaking strictly from which source?
Vedas.
Vedas. Vedas include Puranas, Itihas, Pancharatra, all of that. Therefore, this is the perfection of the Acharya. Now we have a very mature understanding of what is the perfection of the Acharya. So that we will not have any illusions about what it is to say that the Acharya is perfect. But dear devotees, the lecture was not about imperfections of Acharya. The lecture was about imperfections of Bhagavan. Sorry, I forgot the whole. See, one big defect in me, I forget the topic, dear devotees. So the topic was about imperfections of Bhagavan. Dear devotees, just one or two more things before we move ahead. Therefore, Shastra says, Sri Vyasadeva says, Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, do not see any faults in the Guru or Acharya. Externally you may see, you can't ignore that, you will see certain faults. But don't consider them as indicative of his Bhakti Yoga. I hope you are able to understand. Don't consider this as an indication of which yoga? Bhakti Yoga. In that domain he is perfect. Therefore, Sri Krishna says, and Sri Vyasadeva specifies in the Bhagavatam, Acharyam mam vijaniya navamanyeta karhiche namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guru Acharyam mam vijaniyan. Know that the Acharya is very dear to me. In fact, Acharya is one representation of me. Na avamanyeta karhichit. Do not disregard the Acharya in any way. Na martya buddhya. Thinking him to be martya, just an ordinary mortal. Na asuyeta. Don't envy him. That, oh, he is just same as me, just that he came 30 years ago. Otherwise, it would have been me. Na martya buddhya asuyeta. Don't envy him, thinking him to be an ordinary mortal. Sarva deva mayo guruhu. The Guru is the representative of all the devatas. Why? Because the Guru is speaking from which source, dear devotees? Vedas. And the Vedas are the collection of the hymns of all the devatas. Therefore, the Acharya is the personification of the Vedas, and they are thus a personification of all the devatas. Here is the translation. Please read.
Know that the Guru is very dear to me. He should never be disobeyed or disrespected. Never envy him, thinking him to be a mere mortal, for he is the embodiment of all devatas.
Yes. And, dear devotees, what to speak of Bhagavan? Bhagavan's body is free of all defects. Now we are getting into the main topic. Now the interesting part begins. Sri Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he is quoting a literature called Vaishnav Tantra. Please repeat after me. वैष्णव तंत्रे अष्टादश महादोषै रहिता भगवत्तनु सर्वैश्वर्यमयी सत्या विज्ञानानंद रूपिणी. Sri Rupa Goswami says अष्टादश महादोषै rahita. Bhagavat Tanu, Bhagwan's body is free from Ashtadasha. What is Ashtadasha? Can anybody tell me? 18. Mahadoshai, major faults. Bhagwan's body is free from the 18 major faults. Why? Sarvaishwaryamai, Bhagwan's body is full of opulences. Satya Vijnana Ananda Rupini, and Bhagwan's body is Satchit Ananda, the personification of eternity, knowledge and bliss. This is the reason why Bhagwan's body is free from how many defects? 18 major defects. Please read the translation, Mataji.
In the Vaishnava Tantra, it is said, the body of Bhagavan is free from the 18 major faults found in mortals. It is full of all opulences and is a personification of truth, realized knowledge and bliss.
So, dear devotees, can Bhagavan have any mistakes?
No.
Any imperfections?
No.
So that was the lecture. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Okay? We'll pause here. No?
No.
I can't speak against Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami says, look at the 18 defects and see, dear devotees, these are the 18 major defects that Sri Rupa Goswami lists, and please try to see if they are present in the body of Bhagavan Narayan, dear devotees. The 18 faults of conditioned mortals are described in the Vishnu Yamal as follows. Please repeat the name after me. Moha. Moha. What is the meaning of moha, dear devotees? Perplexity. Perplexity means what should I do, what should I not do, I am not able to understand. This thing is called as what? Moha. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjun had this condition. Should I fight or should I not fight? This condition in Sanskrit is known as what? Moha. Does Bhagavan Narayan have moha at any point of time? No. Second, Tandra. Tandra. What is Tandra, dear devotees? Sleep. How many of us have this defect? Please raise our hands, sir. Are wonderful. Dear devotees. How many of us will go home and sleep tonight? Huh? Oh, wonderful, huh? So our body has this one defect. Can we become perfect in this life? No. So, dear devotees, to be a human is to be imperfect. Please try to understand this thing. To be a human is to be imperfect always. Alright. Third, Brahma. Brahma. What is Brahma, dear devotees?
Illusion.
What is Brahma, dear devotees?
Illusion.
And what did I put there? So I deliberately put it there so that the presentation will also have one mistake. Dear devotees, here is one mistake in the presentation. What is Brahma supposed to be? Illusion. Right? Mistaking one thing for another. What is classic example of illusion? Mistaking a rope for a snake. That is Brahma. Four, dear devotees. Ruksha rasata. Ruksha rasata is artificial attachment without actual love. Sometimes we just go to devotees and we externally say, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, how are you? Is everything okay with you? Internally we say, when will I get back home? I want to run away from him as soon as possible. This artificial attachment without actual love is called as Ruksha Rasata. How many of us have this defect, dear devotees? Please raise your hand. Those who are not raising their hands, please make a note of them. Fifth, Kama Ulbanaha. Troublesome lust. Everybody suffers in love affairs in the material world, and this is called as Kama Ulbanaha. Sixth, Lolata. Lolata is fickleness. On the last moment we are changing decision. Sometimes last moment we turn on the right. Instead of turning left, on the last moment we are turning right. This is a classic example of what? Lolata, fickleness. Seventh, Mada. Mada is intoxicated behavior. Sometimes we talk to others in an intoxicated manner. We become so friendly with them, we forget what to speak, what not to speak. This is called as Mada. Eighth, Matsarya. Matsarya is envy with the inability to see the happiness of others. Is called as what? Matsarya. The inability to see the progress of somebody else is called as Matsarya. 9. Himsa. Himsa is violent behavior. The final solution to all conflicts in the world is what, dear devotees? Himsa. 10th. Kheda. Kheda is mental dejection. When you do a mental activity for a long time, your mind says, no, I don't want to do it anymore. This is called as kheda. For example, a person plays chess for 8 hours straight. Then after that, is he physically exhausted or mentally exhausted? Mentally exhausted. This mental exhaustion is known as what? Kheda. Yes. Next is 11th, Parishrama. This is physical exhaustion. So then the body is tired, it is called as Parishrama. Okay. 12th, Asatya. What is Asatya, dear devotees? Lie. How many of us have spoken a lie? Please raise your hand. See who is not raising their hand. They are speaking a lie right now. Those who are not raising their hand. Asatya. It is said that an average human speaks about 2 to 3 lies every day. Average how many lies every day? 2 to 3 lies every day. That's how we sustain our human life, by speaking 2 or 3 lies every day. Now, 13. Krodha. Krodha is anger, we know. 14. Akanksha. Akanksha is we have expectations. He will give me something. She will give me something. That person will bring something for me. This is called as what? Akanksha. Expectation from others. 15. Ashanka. We get doubtful about others. What is this person thinking of me? This is called as what? Ashanka. Ashanka. Doubt or concern. 16. Vishwa Vibhrama. Sometimes we are fully indulged in the material world. We forget ourselves. This defect is called as Vishwa Vibhrama. 17. Vishamatva. Partiality. We are partial towards people whom we like, and we tend to go against people whom we don't like. This is called as Vishamatva. There is a Sanskrit term Sama. What is the Sanskrit term? Sama. What is the meaning of Sama? Equal. And then there is Vi-sama, and the sa it changes to sha. Then what does it become? Vishama. Non-equal. And Vishamatva, non-equality or partiality, is called as what? Vishamatva. And 18. Parapeksha. Dependence on others. For the first 20 or 25 years, we were thoroughly dependent on parents. Then suddenly we started calling ourselves independent individuals. This fault is called as what? Parapeksha. So total how many major defects are there? 18. In human beings, minor defects can be n number. Somebody has yellow teeth. There's another. Somebody has one missing teeth. That is another defect. I hope you are able to understand. How many minor defects can be there? Unlimited minor. But in the body of Bhagavan Vishnu, you will not find how many major defects? 18 major defects. Are these 18 defects present in the body of Bhagavan Vishnu? No. Are these 18 defects present in Sri Krishna? No.
Yes. Partiality. Parishrama.
What? I just want a simple yes or no answer. Alright?
Yes.
So they are present in Krishna's body? No.
Yes.
Yes, no, yes, no. So Bhagavan Krishna has defects. Yes or no?
Yes.
No?
Yes. Not material defect, but transcendental defect.
Oh, look at the word jugglery. From the ISKCON devotees, they add transcendental to everything to justify it.
By his own sweet will.
By his own sweet will, he is defective. So now we have come at a very interesting juncture, very interesting point. Bhagwan Narayan does not display any of these 18 defects. But Shri Krishna voluntarily accepts most of these 18 major defects. Not all of them, but most of these 18 major defects. And the reason is given by Sri Jiva Goswami. When Sri Rupa Goswami was writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there was one personality sitting right next to him. Who was sitting right next to him? Sri Jiva Goswami. He was spanning him, and when Sri Rupa Goswami wrote this verse that Bhagwan's body is free from 18 defects and these are the 18 defects, Sri Jiva Goswami asked him about one particular form of Bhagwan. Which form of Bhagwan? Krishna. And then Sri Rupa Goswami explained to him the Siddhanta. Sri Jiva Goswami wrote it down, and today we have those notes of Sri Jiva Goswami with us. So it will be very helpful for us to understand today what is the Siddhanta in this particular regard. Sri Jiva Goswami says that Bhagwan exhibits these faults for one particular purpose. This is the exact comment of Sri Jiva Goswami. Please repeat. Bhakta prema sambandhena tu etecha gunatvaya kalpante. Bhakta prema sambandhena, in relationship with his prema, his love for his devotees, these qualities are seen. These qualities exist only to increase one thing. To increase what, dear devotees?
Love.
The prema. What is the meaning of prema? Love of his devotees. So Bhagwan exhibits these qualities only for one purpose. In these defects only for one purpose. To increase what? Love of whom? The devotees towards him. Etecha, and therefore gunatvaya kalpante. These defects are actually taken as his qualities. Here is the translation. Mataji, kindly read. This is from Sri Jiva Goswami's commentary to the verse.
In connection with his prema for his devotees, these faults are seen in Bhagavan, but such faults ultimately end up being his sweet qualities.
There is only one reason why Bhagwan displays mistakes, faults. And what is the only reason why Bhagwan displays it?
Prema for his devotees.
To exhibit prema of his devotees. Otherwise, he can also become exactly like Narayan. There is no problem in Krishna becoming exactly like whom? Narayan. But he is accepting a few defects. So that what can increase? Prema of his devotees can increase. This is what Sri Jiva Goswami says. And then he quotes a wonderful verse from the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. Anugrahaya bhaktana manusham dehamaastitah bhajate tadrishi krida yah shrutva tatparo bhave. Anugrahaya bhaktanam, for giving anugraha, bestowing mercy upon the devotees. Manusham deham astitah. Bhagwan is situated in which body, dear devotees?
Human body.
Human body, Manusha deha. And dear devotees, when Bhagwan accepts a human body, Bhagwan accepts the human body as it is. Which means he is going to accept the human body with all the defects of the human body. He is not going to accept human body and then become a devata. When he accepts a human body, will he accept the defects? Yes or no?
Yes.
But amongst all the defects, he will only accept those defects which will lead to increase in what?
Love.
Prema of his devotees. If there are any human defects which reduce the prema, even in a human body, he will not accept them. Bhajate tadrishi krida. Then he exhibits such human pastimes. Yaha shrutva, hearing those pastimes, tatparo bhavet. You become very dedicated to him. Please read the translation, Mataji.
He assumes a human-like body to show mercy to his devotees, and he engages in such human pastimes in order to attract those who hear about them to become dedicated to him.
There is a very wonderful thing given in the last line. Yaha shrutva, hearing his human-like pastimes, tat paro bhavet. One becomes dedicated to him. why does one become dedicated to Sri Krishna on hearing his human-like pastimes?
Because it's sweet.
We can relate to it.
Okay. And how can we relate to it?
Because we have those defects.
Wonderful. Because we have those defects. And Bhagavan has come down to our level. And he is exhibiting those defects. And now, is it easier to relate to a person who has defects? Yes or no?
Yes.
Suppose I come here and I am sitting here and in the introduction I am over glorified. Let's say somebody over glorifies me and introduces me. Here is Vyakaran, Tantra, Nyay, Mimamsa, Ved, Vedant, Itihas, Puran, Kavya, Alankar, Paravara, Varin, Hari Parshad. Will you all be able to relate to me, or will you all say, oh, all right, all right. So you stay there, we are here. If I am introduced, oh, this is Hari Parshad Das, he is full of 4 defects, and usually he sometimes exhibits anger, he makes mistakes, he falls prey to illusion. Which Hari Parshad Das would you like, the first one or the latter one?
Second one.
Second one. I hope you are able to understand. So I am that second one actually. I am that second one. So when even a human being shows vulnerability, that point of time the human being becomes relatable to us. Imagine when Bhagavan shows vulnerability. How dear will Bhagavan become to us? This is the Bhagavan who doesn't have any defects. Does he have any of those 18 major defects that are mentioned in Shastra? No. He doesn't even sleep. He goes into Yoga Nidra, closes his eyes half and he sees the entire universe. Doesn't sleep. Gradually Bhagavan starts exhibiting human-like pastimes, dear devotees. This is whom Bhagavan? Ram. He is crying in the forest because he could not protect Sita. Which defect? Divine defect or human defect?
Human defect.
And finally this humanness will reach its peak point in this following pastime, devotees, which Leela did. So, which form of Bhagavan is appearing dearest to you?
Krishna.
Why? Because what is greatest in Sri Krishna?
More mistakes.
Wonderful, wonderful. What is greatest in Krishna?
More mistakes.
बोलो जोर से बोलो.
More mistakes.
More mistakes. It is called Nar Leela. Which Leela, dear devotees? Nar Leela. Nar Leela means it will attract all of us Naras, all of us humans. That is the purpose of that Leela. So, for this reason, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has voluntarily accepted most of the mistakes. And only reason for accepting these mistakes, once again, what is the reason?
To increase prema.
Increase prema of the devotees. Please, I am repeatedly emphasizing this so that we don't think that Bhagavan has come under the control of the human form of life. The only reason why he has accepted this is to increase the prema of the devotees. Now, how many total mistakes were there? Major mistakes?
18.
Sri Jiva Goswami gives examples of most of them. Alright, one by one we have to cover total how many? 18. So somebody should keep a count, Mataji. You keep a count, okay? First defect, dear devotees, is, what is the first defect? Moha. Moha is perplexity. Alright? It is given in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. Tado vatsana drishtvaitya Puline picha vatsavan Bhavapi bane krishno Vichikaya samantatah Tato vatsan adrishtva, not seeing the cowherd boys and the calves. Etya Puline, Bhagavan came to the bank of Yamuna. Vatsapan couldn't see the cowherd boys. Ubhavapi Vane Krishna tried to see in the forest, he could not find. Vichikaya. What happened? I hope you're for one moment. Krishna said. What did Krishna say? What happened? विचिका. In Hindi we say चकित हो गया. चकित होना. You know what is चकित होना? Huh? He was surprised, could not understand, became perplexed for a moment as to what has happened. This is a classic example of which defect in Sri Krishna? Moha. Here is the translation. Please read.
Thereafter, when Krishna was unable to find the calves, he returned to the bank of the river, but there he was also unable to see the cowherd boys. Thus, he began to search for both the calves and the boys, as if he could not understand what had happened.
Yeah, as if he could not understand what had happened. So, very, very important. Dear devotees, how many defects have we covered till now? One defect. How many are remaining?
17.
17 are remaining. Wonderful, dear devotees. Sri Jiva Goswami will take 3 defects together now. What are the 3 defects? Sleep, weariness, fatigue. Weariness is on which level, dear devotees? Mental. Fatigue is on which level? Physical. These 3 defects will be taken together. Sri Jiva Goswami says single verse gives these 3. क्वचित् पल्लवतल्पेषु नियुद्ध श्रमकर्षितः वृक्षमूलाश्रयः शेते गोपोत्सङ्गोपबर्हणः. Kvachit, sometimes while playing with the cowherd friends, niyuddha shramakarshita, they will have a good wrestling match. And Pallava Talpeshu, after having that wrestling match, the boys will make a bed of soft leaves. And Bhagwan is tired, I don't want to fight anymore, I am physically, mentally exhausted. Vrikshamula Ashraya, at the base of a tree, Shete, Bhagwan sleeps. Gopa Utsanga Upabarhana, and the lap of a Gopa becomes his pillow. Did you notice? All 3 are present in Bhagwan. Does our Sri Krishna sleep? Yes. Not only does he sleep, he also starts blabbering in his sleep. He has major defect. This defect doesn't go away even when he went to Dwarka. In front of Rukmini, he was blabbering, "Oh Radha, I am very sorry." There are many verses in Padyavali like that. I am very sorry. So dear devotees, in this way our Bhagwan exhibits these defects. Please read the translation, Mataji.
Sometimes Lord Krishna grew tired from fighting and lay down at the base of a tree, resting upon a bed made of soft twigs and buds, and using the lap of a cowherd friend as his pillow.
Yes. So here is one similar painting to that. Our Bhagwan is about to sleep. Dear devotees, this makes Bhagwan relatable to us. I hope you are able to understand. This makes Bhagwan relatable to us. This is the reason why Bhagwan exhibits human-like pastimes. Achha, total how many defects now, Mataji? 4. Wonderful. Now, 5th is what, dear devotees? Brahma. Now I translated correctly. What is Brahma? Illusion. Wonderful. So, Mataji, now I am giving the translation. Mataji, kindly read the translation.
When Krishna and Balaram, with the strength of their legs, crawled in the muddy places created in Braja by cow dung and cow urine, their crawling resembled the crawling of serpents, and the sound of their ankle bells was very charming. Very much pleased by the sound of other people's ankle bells, they used to follow these people as if going to their mothers, but when they saw that these were other people, they became afraid and returned to their real mothers, Yashoda and Rohini.
Wow. So Krishna and Balaram, they would follow other people thinking that they were whom? Yashoda and Rohini. But were they actually Yashoda and Rohini?
No.
And when they realized there are some other people, they would quickly run back to their own parents. Classic example of which defect, dear devotees? Brahma. Illusion. Total how many defects, Mataji?
5.
5. 6th and 7th, Sri Jiva Goswami says, artificial attachment without actual love and troublesome lust. Sri Jiva Goswami says, please repeat. Ruksharasata Nama Prema Sambandham Vinaragah. This is Ruksharasata means fake attachment without genuine love. He says, Sa tu nasti eva. This defect is not present in Krishna. If Bhagwan loves somebody, he will clearly say, I love you. And if Bhagwan doesn't love somebody, he will clearly say, you don't have love for me, I am very sorry. A clear example of this is found when Bhagwan became Shanti Dut, peace messenger between the Kauravas and Pandavas. And then when he went to Hastinapur, Duryodhan, etc., invited him that in my palace there are very nice cooks, we will cook a nice feast for you, at least honor one feast at our place. And Bhagwan in the Mahabharata says, I am quoting the exact words of Sri Krishna from the Mahabharata, Sampriti bhojyani annani apad bhojyani va punaha na cha sampriyase rajan na chaivapad gatavayam. Sampriti bhojyani annani. Duryodhan, only in two conditions one can eat. First is when there is love between the inviter and the invited. And the second condition, apad bhojyani, if there is an emergency. Na cha sampriyase rajan. Duryodhan, you don't have any love for me. Na chaivapad gatavayam, and neither am I in any emergency. So Duryodhan, my answer is going to be no. This defect doesn't exist in Bhagwan. And Duryodhan asked him, so where are you going to eat? He said, I will go at the home of Vidura. That Shudra. Yes, I will eat at the home of that Shudra. Because that Shudra has something which you don't have. What does he have? Devotees. Love. So I will eat at the home of that Shudra because that Shudra is having love for me. He did not eat at the palace of Duryodhan. This doesn't exist in Sri Krishna. And he says, Ulbano dukkhadaha kamo laukikaha. This material world, kama, is lust is troublesome. Tasya prema rupa kamatvat sacha nasti. Bhagwan has prema, Bhagwan doesn't have any material lust. So this defect also doesn't exist in Bhagwan. Mataji, kindly read the translation.
Fake attachment without genuine love is not present in Krishna. Lust of the material world is troublesome. However, in connection with him there is only prema and is not at all troublesome for him.
Yeah. Now, how many defects have we covered?
5.
5. But together with this? 7. So total how many have we covered till now? 7. 2 of which don't exist in Krishna. Right. Next, dear devotees, is fickleness, lolata. Wonderful example of fickleness. Mataji, kindly read this example.
When Mother Yashoda and Rohini were unable to protect the babies from calamities threatened by horned cows, by fire, by animals with claws and teeth such as monkeys, dogs and cats, and by thorns, swords and other weapons on the ground, they were always in anxiety and their household engagements were disturbed. At that time, they were fully equipoised in the transcendental ecstasy known as the distress of maternal affection, for this was aroused within their minds.
When Yashoda and Rohini were unable to, this is when Krishna and Balram started running around the home. They would go and perform so much mischief, dear devotees. Sometimes they would go to the cowshed of Nanda Maharaj, find the biggest bull and make funny faces in front of the bull. Sometimes they will call a monkey. Bhagavan Sri Krishna will call a monkey down, come here. Then the monkey will come and then Bhagavan will give him something to eat. And then Bhagavan will ask him to open his mouth and Bhagavan will count if all the teeth are properly. Sometimes Nanda Maharaj would have kept swords in his cupboard in order to protect the cows from wild animals. If Nanda Maharaj forgets to lock the cupboard, Krishna and Balram will open the cupboard. And then there will be big Mahabharat before the actual Mahabharat. Sometimes Krishna will put his hand in the flame of the fire, sometimes he will put it behind thorny bushes. Both Mother Yashoda and Rohini became completely disturbed in their household engagements. But dear devotees, this is not material suffering, this is bhakti ras. What is it, dear devotees? Bhakti ras. And therefore, it is the highest expression of joy. And you can see some of it, dear devotees, in this following painting. This is what is going on at this particular moment. How many have we covered till now, Mataji?
8.
9, 10, 11. Intoxication, envy and violence. Example of intoxication. Mataji, please read the example from 10th canto.
As Krishna respectfully greets his well-wishing friends, his eyes roll slightly as if from intoxication.
So his mother in the early morning sent him with all the cowherd boys. He's so happy seeing the spring season. He becomes little intoxicated, and to his friends he's saying, Are, how are you? Is everything okay? Give your hand, Prabhuji. I said his eyes are rolling in intoxication. Is everything okay? Yes or no? I said this is example of what? Intoxication. This is intoxication without taking intoxicants. I hope you are able to understand. Intoxication without taking intoxicants. Now then there is also intoxication after taking intoxicants. How many of us would like to see an example of intoxication after taking intoxicants in the spiritual world? Please raise your hands. Would you like to see an example? Oh, there is a wonderful example in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami. I will quote this particular example, dear devotees. Sri Balram is very famous for drinking one particular drink. Which drink? Varuni. In Varuni, when he drinks Varuni, he becomes intoxicated. Now this is intoxication after drinking intoxicants. Sri Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu a wonderful verse which describes the state of Balaram after taking intoxicants. This verse is in the meter Prithvi. I will try to sing it. Please sing after me loudly, devotees. Alright? You also have to be little intoxicated to sing this verse. Please sing after me loudly. Baba Brahmade Medine Lambate Chandrama. Baba Brahmade Medine Lambate Chandrama. Baba Brahmade Medine Lambate Chandrama. Krishna Vavadadrutam Hasanti Kim Vishnaya.
Krishna Vavadadrutam Hasanti Kim Vishnaya.
Shishidum Muncha Me Papapapana Patrasitam.
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 Madas Khalita Malapan Haladhara Shriyamba Kriya.
Madas Khalita Malapan Haladhara Shriyamba Kriya.
So this devotees is Balram faltering in intoxication. Now the translation also has to be equivalent to the Sanskrit. So this is a fresh translation, new translation done by myself, dear devotees. Balaram is saying to Krishna, Ba Brahmati Medini, the earth is spinning around. Lambate Chandrama, the moon is hanging upside down. Krishna, Baba Drutam, tell me quickly. Santi came Vrishna, why are the Vrishna laughing on me? Shishi Munchame Papapana Patra Sitam, give me wine in my drinking vessel. Madas Khalita Malapan Haladhara, may Balaram, who was thus faltering in intoxication, Shriyam Vaha Kriyat, give prosperity to all you intoxicated devotees.
Haribo!
Intoxication, dear devotees, is part of the spiritual world, okay, not part of the material world. Don't try this at home. Right? So we go back to our presentation. How many have we covered till now?
9.
11.
No, we haven't yet covered envy and violence.
Envy and violence is not yet covered. Envy. Now we go to what? Envy. Does Sri Krishna have envy? Envy is, I'll tell you what envy is, dear devotees. Sometimes, just by looking at some person, you start hating them for no reason whatsoever. I'll say one statement in Hindi, then I'll explain. Chehra pasand nahi aaya. I didn't like his face. So, from day one, I hated him. Why? Chehra pasand nahi aaya. I didn't like his face. So this envy is exhibited by Sri Krishna in relation to one person, and this is what is the example of envy. Please read, Mataji.
Indra is proud of his opulence, and out of foolishness he falsely considers himself the lord of the universe. I will now destroy such ignorance.
Indra did not do anything against Indian devotees. In fact, when the devatas had gone to call him, Indra was right there inviting him to come descend on planet Earth. There is nothing wrong that Indra did. In fact, Shri Brahma stole the cowherd boys and calves. Did Indra do anything till that point of time? Until he was incited by Krishna himself. Did Indra do anything? No. Why did Krishna want to bring down Indra? Give me one good reason.
Indra is proud.
All devatas are proud. You are giving, it's not that only Indra is proud and other devatas are not proud. Is it that other devatas are very humble and Indra is the only proud one? Huh? All devatas, obviously they are going to have pride in their position. You can't rule without having that pride in that position.
Indra is ignorant.
Indra is ignorant. Indra is not ignorant. He's learned from Brihaspati.
No need to worship.
Huh?
No need to worship Indra.
No need to. Why? What has he done?
Because he wanted to kill the Brajavasis.
That happened later, after Krishna stopped his sacrifice. Who incited first, Krishna or Indra?
Krishna.
Why?
He has an
You want to
elephant.
show it? Yes.
Huh?
He wants his elephant.
He wants his elephant. Wow, it's this childish game of wanting his elephant.
He's the king of heaven.
The king of heaven. So what is wrong? Krishna appointed him as king of heaven. Huh?
Just want to provoke you.
He has to set an example out of someone.
So to set an example, you got poor Indra. Isn't it? Dear devotees, it is nothing but sheer envy. I hope you are understanding. Nothing but sheer envy. And envy is a human defect. Which defect? Human defect. Sometimes it is beyond our control why we start disliking a particular person. And by doing this pastime of exhibiting envy against Indra, he glorified his most choicest devotee. Which devotee? Govardhan. He glorified which devotee? Govardhan. So for exhibiting his love for Govardhan, he exhibited this pastime of envy. In fact, in the Gopal Champu, Sri Jiva Goswami mentions that there is something that Krishna said to the Brajavasis. He said, stop this Indra Puja. We will prepare lot of bhoga, annakut, and we will feed everybody. We will feed the Vaishnavas, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, animals, Chandalas, everybody. We will feed even the dog, but we will not feed that Indra. That statement is there in Gopal Champu. There is statement. Shwaparyantebhyo. Give till the dog you feed, but don't feed whom? Indra. What did Indra do to deserve such a thing? This is classic example of what, dear devotees? Envy is present in Shri Krishna. But only reason for displaying this envy is to increase what, dear devotees? Prema. Please try to understand the whole Krishna Leela, entirety of Krishna Leela is a drama. Different people are playing different roles. Indra is also playing a role in the drama. Indra understands that I am dear to him, but now I have to play a certain role. Alright? So, now, what is after envy? What comes, dear devotees?
Violence.
And Sri Jiva Goswami says violence is well documented in many places. There is no need to separately give an example of violence. It is well documented. There are two types of violence, dear devotees. One is provoked violence and one is unprovoked violence. Provoked violence is something like Jarasandh, he attacked so many times. So Krishna had him killed. This is provoked violence or unprovoked violence? Provoked. Another example is Shishupal. Shishupal gave him so many bad words and he was given a warning. Now stop, otherwise I'll kill you. But still Shishupal went ahead and did it. Provoked violence. Dear devotees, when Bhagavan came from Vrindavan to Mathura, on the way he saw a washerman. Dhobi. The washerman was washing Kamsa's clothes. He had some nice clothes of Kamsa. So Krishna and Balram said to him, see, we are going to meet a king. We want to dress up like a king. Give us the clothes befitting a king. So the Dhobi, the washerman said, "Get out, you cowherd boys. Huh? Don't stay here. You are not fit to wear the clothes of a king." That's it. That's all he had said. Did he do his duty? Yes or no?
Yes.
So Krishna just came near him. And Krishna pulled his hand back little bit. The devotees, and Krishna then swung his hand like this. And Krishna uninstalled his head from his body. I am using very mild language. When my Guru Maharaj spoke in Hindi, he spoke in very mild language. I said, what he said in Hindi, I will say, those who understand. भगवान ने उसका सर उतार दिया, ऐसा भगवान ने उसका सर उतार दिया. सर उतार दिया means as if भगवान took off the head and भगवान ने उसका सर उतार दिया. So भगवान, so I translated in, I come from IT background, so I translated in English. Bhagwan uninstalled his head from his body. Nothing else. So dear devotees, with the dhobi, with the washerman, is it provoked violence or unprovoked violence?
Unprovoked.
Unprovoked violence. What did the dhobi do to deserve this fate? Anything did he do? No.
He spoke
Uh-huh.
harsh words.
He criticized Krishna. So in any court of law, you go and say, this person criticized me, so I am going to murder him. Look at the arguments the devotees give. At least think one time before giving the argument. What is the fault of that poor washerman? Tell me, dear devotees.
He's liberated.
Huh?
And this, in a positive, he's liberated. But
He is liberated. Yeah, that we can understand. While speaking on this, it is described that he didn't even realize when he became non-alive from alive. I hope you remember. One moment he was alive, next moment he didn't realize he got liberated. Did you? So all of you are laughing. So think about the poor washerman. All of you are laughing. Think about that poor washerman. Didn't even realize जिंदा का मुर्दा कब हो गया. He didn't realize what happened to him. Mataji, total how many?
11.
11? Okay, wonderful. 12, 13, 14. Lying, anger and worldly expectations. 12th is lying. Mataji, please read. Whose devotee are you, Mataji?
Krishna.
Krishna? Have you heard about the pristine character of your Bhagwan?
Yes.
Yes? Please read about your Bhagwan's pristine character.
My dear mother, I have never eaten dirt. All my friends complaining against me are liars.
Mataji, this is the character of your leader. Dear devotees, how many of you are devotees of Krishna? Raise your hand, please. Even after knowing this, see, Ram Navami will come up next year. There is still some time. How many of you want to fall in love with a Bhagwan who never speaks lies, always walks on the path of Dharma, never makes a mistake, never cries falsely, never deviates from the course of religiosity? How many of you want to fall in love with such a Bhagwan? Raise your hand. Okay, so Ram Navami is for you. How many want to fall in love with Bhagwan who constantly cries, speaks for lies, cries falsely?
Yes.
You can't raise your hand both times.
they're not different.
Knowing that he is a pathological liar. will you still want to fall in love with him, dear devotees?
Yes. Yes.
This is what brainwashing does to the Hare Krishna. They are knowing everything, they are still selecting.
So it's not about only Krishna, right? Think about your kids.
Huh.
If kids is doing, lying, even you love them, right?
Wow. Yeah, wow, it has permeated to the family also. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. But when it comes to selecting a Bhagwan, please tell me, do you want a moral Bhagwan or immoral Bhagwan?
Transform.
Huh?
Transform.
Having immoral, because moral is Brahma is already there,
Huh.
but we are not worshiping like Krishna.
Huh.
He is
No,
very
no.
close to us.
Bhagwan Ram or Bhagwan Krishna?
Krishna.
Krishna.
Ramakrishna.
Which we say both.
One worshipping deed, one Ishtadev.
They are not different.
No.
Krishna.
Select one. Ram or Krishna.
Krishna is supreme.
Then you have selected all that lies, deceit, crying falsely. Huh? Are you all okay with it?
Yes.
Wonderful cult members. Alright, anger. Huh? Mataji, please read. Huh? Further glories of your personality of Godhead. Please read.
Being very angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth, Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone.
This is during which Leela, dear devotees? Achha, this is the Acharya of Bhagavad Gita. Just to inform all of you. In the Gita, he will say that there are 3 gateways to hell. Anybody knows what are the 3 gateways to hell? Lust, anger and greed. And what is an Acharya? Can anybody tell me what is the definition of Acharya?
One who teaches by
One who teaches by example. So here is the Acharya of Bhagavad Gita. He is teaching by his own example what not to do in life. Alright. Then there is worldly expectations. Please read the verse 10.9.4 Bhagavatam.
While Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her.
Suddenly appeared before her. She is churning yogurt. Suddenly stopped the churning rod and said, I want milk right now. Dear devotees, this person is having the mindset that I am the future king of Vrindavan. So better my desire should be fulfilled immediately. Dear devotees, with this mindset he is living in Vrindavan. ऐसा. So हिंदी में कभी कभी बोलते हैं, ठीक है, अमीर बाप का बिगड़ा हुआ बेटा. ऐसा है. So the spoiled brat of a rich father. This is how he is living in Vrindavan. How many defects, Mataji?
14.
14, 15, 16 and 17. 3 defects now together. Doubts, worldly indulgence and biased nature. Doubts is also in the pastime of Brahma stealing the cowherd boys. Please read the translation, Mataji.
When Krishna was unable to find the calves and their caretakers, the cowherd boys, anywhere in the forest, he could suddenly understand that this was the work of Lord Brahma.
So he was not able to find, Acha, is it that Brahma who did it? I hope you are able to understand. This is a classic example of what? Doubt. So his doubt went on which particular personality? Sri Brahma. So this is doubt. Worldly indulgence, Sri Krishna helps his devotees such as Bhagwan Shiva, Bhagwan Brahma to maintain the world. Sometimes he appears in the world to help them. In this way he becomes entangled in the world by helping his devotees Shiva and Brahma. Another meaning of worldly intelligence is that he himself is Brahma, he himself is Shiva, and through Shiva and Brahma he becomes fully entangled in the material world. This is example of what? Worldly indulgence. So worldly indulgence is his desire to maintain the universe by helping his devotees such as Brahma, etc. And then there is what? Biased nature. Biased nature is wonderfully documented in the Gita itself. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. This is a very popular verse in the Gita. I am equal to all living entities. Na me dveshosti na priya. I envy no one nor I favor anyone. You should have stopped there, Krishna. Huh? Just after that he says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. But if somebody worships me with devotion, Mai te teshu chapyaham. Then I am within him and he is within me. Arey, you didn't even realize that in the next two lines you are refuting the first two lines. Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I am equal to all. I am not partial to anybody. But Krishna, stop there, stop there. Now is maybe 20 verses later you say nobody will notice. In the same verse you said. But if somebody worships me with devotion, then he is dear to me, I am dear to him. Mataji, please read.
I am equal to all. Yet if someone worships me, then I am within him and he is within me.
Yeah. Dear devotee, this is an example of which nature? Now, till now how many defects, Mataji? 17. And final defect, Mataji, is 18. Dependence on others. Classic example, we know he is dependent on Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, but with straightforward statement in the Bhagavatam. Aham bhakta paradhina. I am completely under the control of my devotees. So total how many defects till now? 18. Major defects. Minor defects are unlimited. Minor defects are unlimited. Now whenever we will think of Krishna, we will think of Krishna as a person who has many defects within him. And the only reason for accepting these defects is what?
To increase
The prema of the devotees, so that he becomes more relatable to us. And the devotees, therefore, it's very wonderful for all of us to pray that Bhagavan, let's have a deal. We will accept you with all your defects, and you accept us with all our defects. Because I am telling you, I will show you all the 18 defects once again, and please tell me which one of these defects you can overcome in the human form of life.
Lying is the one.
Lying you can overcome?
I think so. No, we can. Yeah, I try most of the time.
You know what happened to Harishchandra? He had to sell his own son, Rohit.
Yeah, I know. Most of the cases, for small things, we do the lying.
Then you still have the defect. You still have the defect. How many of you can claim that we will overcome 18 major defects? Please raise your hands. Is there any scope of perfection in the human form of life?
No.
So all those fantasies of perfection are actually nothing but illusion. If you want to perfect your human life, perform bhakti yoga and attain Krishna prem. With all the defects, let Bhagavan accept you. I hope you are able to understand. Sri Bilva Mangal Thakur had, before he was chastised by Chintamani, the prostitute, he had one of these 18 defects. Can anybody tell me which defect did he have? Lust. He was chastised by that Chintamani, and directly from having that lust, he went to the forest, and then he directly attained Krishna without performing much sadhan bhakti. Bhagavan accepted him, although he had that major defect, Kama Ulbana. So if Bhagavan can accept Sri Bilva Mangal Thakur with his defects, Bhagavan can accept Gajendra with his defects, Bhagavan can accept Ajamil with his defects, can Bhagavan accept us with our defects?
Yes.
That is the essential understanding of bhakti. Yeah, that is the hope. Our Bhagavan is having defects, we are having defects, same. Same. Try to understand one thing. If in my mind, if I am thinking first I will overcome all my defects, then Bhagavan will accept me. Will my relationship with Bhagavan be conditional or unconditional?
Conditional.
How many of us want a conditional love with Sri Krishna? How many of us want conditional love with Sri Krishna? Nobody wants? How should our relationship be? Conditional or unconditional?
Unconditional.
So if we want unconditional, then Bhagwan should accept us unconditionally. Which means Bhagwan accepts us as we are. And we accept Bhagwan as He is. This does not mean that we increase our defects. We try to overcome them. Disclaimer. This does not mean that we keep increasing our defects. We try to overcome them as much as possible, because we are, by trying to overcome them, we are showing our prema. Bhagwan, I am trying to become a better person every day. Bhagwan, every single day I am trying to become a better person. Although I know I have no hope of attaining perfection, I cannot overcome these 18. But Bhagwan, every single day I am trying. So dear devotees, in this way, we accept Bhagwan with all his defects. Bhagwan accepts us with all of our defects. Does that sound conditional or unconditional?
Unconditional.
That is how we are supposed to attain Bhagwan. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is absolutely no other way. Anybody who says that they are aiming for perfection, show them the list of how many defects and tell them first overcome at least 5 or 6. Then we will talk about perfection. With this, dear devotees, we have come to the conclusion. Sri Jiva Goswami says, I worship lust, greed, anger of Bhagwan. Wonderful verse. Dan keli kalau lupta dharma maryadayor bhaje radha madhavayoh kama lobha dambha madanritam Dan keli kalau. Radha Madhav are exhibiting various pastimes such as Dan Leela. Dan Leela is taking tax. Lupta Dharma Maryada. They forgot all boundaries of Dharma. Bhaje, I still worship them. Radha Madhav, I worship Radha Madhav's calm. What is calm, dear devotees? Yes. Lobha, what is Lobha? Greed. Dambha, pride. Mada, intoxication. Anritam, falsities. I worship all these qualities of Radha Madhav, who have lost all sense of religiosity in exhibiting their pastimes. This is Sri Jiva Goswami. We worship the lust, anger, greed of Bhagwan. We worship the defects of Bhagwan. We try to reduce our own defects, but we worship the defects of Bhagwan. And that is what makes him so dear to us. We don't want a perfected Bhagwan. A perfected Bhagwan will be too much for us to bear. Too much for us. We will remain afraid of that Bhagwan. Always distant from that Bhagwan. Like in Vaikuntha, oh Bhagwan Narayan. The devotees, Dasyaras. You are there, we are here. But we want our Bhagwan in such a way that he becomes very dear to us by exhibiting human defects. So much so that the Vrajavasis are willing to give him gali. You know what is gali, dear devotees? Loving, abusive words are known as what? Gali. This is the Bhagwan we want. Mataji, please read the translation.
I worship the lust, greed, deceit, pride and falsities of Radha and Madhava, who have lost all sense of worldly religiosity while displaying their loving quarrel in the pastimes such as exacting dana or tax.
So with this, dear devotees, I will pause my speech here. Thank you very much. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. If there is any mistake that I made, dear devotees, of course I made one mistake purposely. Who remembers what mistake I made? Brahma was translated as mistake. But Brahma is actually what? Illusion. Vidvamsaha, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct those mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. But if there was anything nice, please remember tad guru areva. It belongs to my gurujanas. Me nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much once again, dear devotees. Urukram Prabhu, thank you so much for kindly inviting us. Finally, Sundari Mataji, Urukram Prabhu, thank you for kindly opening the doors of your home, inviting all of us. And now we will have wonderful Prashad after this. Yes?
Kalin Sundari Mataji, with so much love and affection, she made burfis for all of us.
Oh.
And we request you, Prabhu, to hand over the burfis to everyone.
Yeah. In the beginning of the program, I spoke something on Purushottam Mas for a few minutes. So I have done that. Okay, just to. This is Purushottam Mas. Amongst all the months, this is called as which Mas, dear devotees? Purushottam Mas. In the external world, it is called as Mala Mas. What is it called as? Mal matlab, the dirt on our body is called as what? Mala. So when all the months, whatever residue was remaining in them, it all deposited as Mala, and this Masa became known as which Mas? Mala Mas. So just as in the English calendar, after 4 years, one extra day comes. And that extra day is in the form of which February? 29th February. So that 29th February is the Mala, is the remaining of all the other months. But because that is based on solar calendar, so it is only one day in 4 years. Now ours is not based on solar calendar, ours is based on which calendar? Lunar calendar. So over a few years, many days get collected like this, and those days are extra days, and those extra days become known as which Mas? Mala Mas. The residue days. So the residue days, nobody wants to do anything auspicious materially, but the Vaishnavas call it Purushottam Mas or Adhik Mas. In this Mas, devotees do extra because it is called Adhik. What is the name of the Mas? Adhik. What is the meaning of Adhik? Extra. So Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. Let's do something Adhik in Adhik. Let us do something extra in the Mas known as extra. This is the month known as extra. So let our devotional endeavors also be a little extra. Voluntarily you can select any vow which you want to do Adhik. Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. The result of performing more bhajan is more result. So dear devotees, wonderful Purushottam Mas we have today, and I am blessed to be given the opportunity to speak some Hari Katha this wonderful day. So I did my Adhik Seva. So this was my Adhik Seva for today. I spoke. Now, dear devotees, all of you also do some Adhik Seva by honoring Prashad. Alright, dear devotees, honoring Prashad is also a Seva. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu ki
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Oh, thank you, Mother. Oh, Jai Ho. Q&A, yeah. I would like to take Q&A. Yeah. So people have questions? Oh, yes, wonderful. Jai Ho. Please go. This I will give later after Q&A. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you for immersing us in bliss for the last.
Dear devotees, please listen carefully. We are having Q&A. Please let the mood, atmosphere not be disturbed by talking. Yeah, please ask the question, Mataji.
Thank you for immersing us in such bliss. So you mentioned the Dana Keli. I was looking at the references, Dana Keli community, and just accessing or reading, listening to the literature from Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami is so life affirming and uplifting. At what stage in one's devotional journey do we get qualified to read those books, and are they available broadly?
At what stage in our journey do we read the books of the previous acharyas?
No, like Padyavali or literature that describes the pastimes.
Literature that describes the pastime. Okay, wonderful. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has spoken something about this because he was very strict in this regard. So, if we get some approval from him, then it will be very nice for us. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he specified in a particular lecture in Radhakund. So, here he specifies when can we begin aspiring. A direct answer to your query. Mataji, you can take the mic and gradually read. Please read loudly but slowly. In around 1930s, he took a pilgrimage for Vrajmandal Parikrama, and at the end of the Vrajmandal Parikrama, they all ended up in Radhakund. In Radhakund, they were expecting that he will speak some tattva, but he ended up speaking from Ashtakaliya Leela, most confidential Radha Krishna pastimes on the bank of Radhakund, and there were many unqualified people in the audience. Still he started speaking. Now what is the reason? He specifies himself. Please read slowly but loudly, Mataji.
All these days we have not spoken about Ashtakalya Leela, conjugal eightfold pastimes of Radha Krishna. But this is our most confidential asset. This is our only sadhya or perfection.
This is actually our most confidential asset. This is our sadhya, perfection. This is actually all of your property. This is the property of all of you devotees. It is not somebody else's property. It is your property. You may be thinking it is somebody else's property, but this is your property. Who here says that we are Rupanuga? Please raise your hand. Rupanuga, yes or no?
Yes.
So if you are Rupanuga, the property belongs to you. But some time is required before we access that property. That's all. The property doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to us. Please read ahead, Mataji.
One should not make the mistake of thinking that anartha nivritti, overcoming impediments such as lust, etc., is the prayojana or goal of bhakti. One thinking like this will never enter into artha pravritti, acquiring one's actual need. For this reason, I will now begin speaking about Ashtakaliya Leela.
If you continuously keep doing anartha nivritti, know this, know this, know this, know this, it is called neti neti. You know what is neti neti? Not this, not this, not this. And there is no positivity. Then you will never be able to enter into the positive sphere. The positive sphere is relishment of the pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Further he says,
I know that you are not ready to hear it, but we should know that such a transcendental ideal exists within the realm of devotion. Beyond the realm of anartha nivritti is artha pravritti, pure conjugal service to Radha and Krishna.
so anartha nivritti is getting rid of negatives. Artha pravritti is developing positive aspects of raga bhakti. This is called artha pravritti. Now, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, please read Mataji.
This is transcendental reality. If we do not know of this transcendental realm, then all of our efforts may end in nirvisheshavada or impersonalism.
If we don't cultivate the positive side, all the efforts will end in impersonalism. Only know this, know this, know this, know this, and we will become a collection of negatives. And this is something that we don't want to become. Please read ahead.
Do not let your day pass in simply trying for anartha nivritti. Artha pravritti is also necessary. Anartha nivritti is necessary only until artha pravritti has started.
This is the answer to your question. Anartha nivritti is necessary only until artha pravritti has started. This is where he is precisely answering your question. For some people, it may be 5 years into their path. Why? Because they have spent many years in the past life. For some people, it may be 20 years after they are in this life, because they have not spent that much in the past life. I hope you are able to understand. So one yardstick cannot fit everybody. But as soon as you become genuinely inclined to artha pravritti and you start relishing the taste, that is the day anartha nivritti takes a back seat. Artha pravritti has to begin that day. Please read ahead.
When artha pravritti is present, anartha nivritti becomes unimportant and artha pravritti becomes prominent.
Yes. Finally, he knows people will still not begin. So he gives a fixed time limit. Max to max you should begin at what time? Please read.
Those who have chanted Harinama for 15 or 20 years should know such things.
Those who have chanted Harinam for how many years? 15 or 20. 15 years where you should know Ashtakaliya Leela. Imagine when you should start reading Padyavali, which is the entrance point. After how many years should you start Padyavali? 8 to 10 years into the process, somebody should make you aware. And then you should start. Otherwise, you will remain stuck in anartha nivritti. And then there will be no progress. Please read ahead, Mataji.
The beginners need not hear these topics or they will misunderstand. These topics are for certain audiences, not for all.
So the absolute newcomer should be told about Vaidhi Bhakti. After 8 to 10 years, they should be told about the literature of the Goswamis. They should be made aware that there is such a path. Otherwise, they will become nirvisheshvadis. What is nirvisheshvadis?
Impersonal.
So neti neti karke rah gaya. All his life he did neti neti. He had no positive aspect to his life. This is the answer to your query.
Thank you.
This is
How
in-
can we access the
This is
Padya?
in this life or in the previous life? The 15
His life,
This life.
he said max to max after how many years? 15 years. Okay. Now, you might have done 10 of those years in the previous life. In this life, after 5 years, you will start feeling the burning need. Once you start feeling the burning need, nobody will be able to stop you. No matter what people do to stop you, they will not be able to stop you.
And also heard somebody ask the same question. So I don't remember which sannyasi or Prabhupada. He said, at least read Prabhupada books once, and then that gives a little understanding as a base, and you can start with some.
That's a good understanding. At least read Prabhupada's books once and then move ahead. The thing is, most of Prabhupada's books are already books of previous acharyas.
It has.
Nectar of Instruction is originally who's writing? Nectar of Devotion is originally who's writing? So while there is no distinction between the books of Srila Prabhupada and the books of the previous acharya, while reading the books of Srila Prabhupada, we are actually reading the books of the previous acharyas. So that is very clear. Actually, there is no separate reading of Prabhupada's books. When we are reading the books of the previous acharyas. That clear understanding we should have. Otherwise, when we are here, Prabhuji, very very simple thing. When we are here in Veda base, I will show you these other books by Srila Prabhupada. This is Nectar of Instruction. Where is Nectar of Instruction? Yeah. Please tell me whose writing is this? Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinash. Are you reading Prabhupada's book or are you reading Rupa Goswami? So you are all, how dare you read Rupa Goswami if you are finishing Prabhupada's books? So what is the answer to this?
They don't know, but they're reading it, but they're not even aware of it. But understanding after reading everything, oh, I already read it. But they will not know when the time of reading it, but they will know at the end. Then they'll go back and systematically.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport to the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, let's give Prabhu the mic. Prabhu, kindly read here. Within the past 500 years.
Within the past 500 years, many erudite scholars and acharyas like Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Vallabhacharya, and many other distinguished scholars, even after the time of Lord Chaitanya, made elaborate commentaries on Bhagavatam. And the serious student would do well to attempt a go through them to better release the transcendental messages.
And the serious student, how many of us want to become serious students? Oh, wonderful. Then we should make another purport I want to show you. This is 1.2.12. Srila Prabhupada's purport 1.2.12 is saying. This is 1.2.12. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says something.
Is there more there somewhere?
Prabhu, please read from this paragraph till this point. Please read a sincere devotee.
In sincere devotee,
Dear devotees, how many of us want to become sincere devotee? Arey wow, wonderful, huh? So question I already asked. All of you raise your hands. Please read again. What happened? You switched off the TV?
It's going to sleep mode, Prabhu.
Oh, acha. It's going to sleep mode. HDMI 4. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Please read. A sincere devotee.
sincere devotee must therefore be prepared to hear the Vedic literature like Upanishads, Vedanta, and other literatures left by the previous authorities of Goswamis for the benefit of his progress.
Slowly. A sincere devotee must therefore be prepared to hear the Vedic literature like Upanishads, Vedanta, and other literature left by the previous authorities or Goswamis. For what purpose? For the benefit of his growth. But no, Prabhupada, I will not read.
Makes sense.
Without hearing such literatures, one cannot make actual progress. This statement should be read again and again. Dear devotees, please repeat. Without hearing such literatures, one cannot make actual progress.
One cannot make
actual progress.
And then what happens to those people who don't read such literature? In the next statement, Prabhupada says, and without hearing and following the instructions, the show of devotional service becomes worthless and therefore a sort of disturbance on the path of devotional service. Then devotional service becomes like a circus show. every Sunday I am dressing in fancy Indian clothes and going to the temple. Huh? But as soon as I come back from the temple, I am that same old person who has not progressed on the path. So, like a Brahmana is speaking the truth here. And then he says, unless therefore devotional service is established on the principles of Shruti, Smriti, Puran and Pancharatra authorities, the make show of devotional service should at once be rejected. So it is very clear and it is established by Srila Prabhupada that the serious devotee, as soon as they feel the need of understanding any subject matter seriously, they should consult the literature of the previous acharyas. Prabhupada never made that distinction that you first read all my books once then, because Prabhupada knows that his books, most of those books are the books of the previous acharyas. There cannot be any distinction like that. The Srimad Bhagavatam is whose literature?
Vedas.
Vedavyas. Ishopanishad is whose literature? Vedavyas. See all the literatures here, other books of Srila Prabhupada. Let's see most of the books, other books of Srila Prabhupada. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. He has taken this from which literature? Chaitanya Charitamrita. Is whose literature? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita. Nectar of Instruction, Upadesha. Then many books based on Bhagavad Gita, Easy Journey to Other Planets, Civilization and Transcendence, Krishna Consciousness, the Topmost Yoga. This is from Bhagavatam he has taken. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Teachings of Lord Kapila, Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Teachings of Queen Kunti, 1st canto of Bhagavatam. So, can we just say that this is a book which has no element of previous acharyas and this is purely a Prabhupada book? Can we say like that? No. Actually, a Prabhupada book is a book, a genuine Prabhupada book is a book which is replete with the teachings of the previous acharyas. That is what we should call a Prabhupada book actually. That is actually a Prabhupada book which has all the teachings of the previous acharyas summarized within it. That is actually a Prabhupada book. And other books are also contained. This Easy Journey to Other Planets, they also contain the teachings of. Therefore, they are all Prabhupada books. This understanding should be had by all of us. Otherwise, we are demarcating a line between Prabhupada and the previous Acharya, a line that does not exist in the writings of Srila Prabhupada. So, as soon as our Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru gives permission, you are serious, you can read. That time we can start, no problem. Yes.
Prabhu, you were saying that until you have, then you'll have a burning desire to read the Ashtakaliya. So is that something that happens internally? So if you don't have that, then
wait and associate with the sadhus. Association with sadhus will bring that desire, because we don't want to do that artificially. That is very wrong. To do something like that artificially without having the desire is not good.
Another question, you talked about the 18 imperfections.
Wonderful.
The pure devotee has those 18 imperfections or not? The pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, like lying, mistakes,
Sleeping is also one.
Sleeping is one.
One question: did Srila Prabhupada sleep? Yes or no? Yes, he slept. At least one we can see. So as I said, when I showed the slide, any apparent defects are seen because the devotee is operating in the framework of which world the devotee is? Material. The framework of the material world is defective. So those defects are seen on the body sometimes. But does it reduce in any way the glories of the Acharya? No. Because the glories of the Acharya that he is speaking from which? Vedas.
So sometimes Prabhupada does speak on worldly topics, and as you said, that they change.
They change.
So, like, did man go to the moon? Right?
And so it may change. Tomorrow somebody may prove, they actually went to the moon. But at that time, Srila Prabhupada, he is saying that no, they did not go to the moon. Because he is saying, he is from this Shastra which is called as Jyotish Shastra basically. From Jyotish Shastra, many Jyotish Shastris have taken material calculations and say man cannot go to the moon. Many Jyotish Shastris say they can go. I hope Jyotish Shastra also belongs to the material framework. I hope you are able to understand. Sometimes there may be difference of opinion. Tomorrow it doesn't reflect negatively on the Acharya. Even if in reality is proven otherwise, it doesn't reflect negatively on the Acharya. That's all I want to say.
But then the question is, why would Acharya speak on material? Because you said he always speaks according to he's always speaking according to the Vedas. So then why would an Acharya speak on
Material topics?
yes?
Because speaking on material topics is one of the duties of an Acharya. It is given in the Ishopanishad. And I will point out what is given in the Ishopanishad. It is given in the 9th and 11th mantras. 11th mantras. Vidyam cha ya Tadvedo bhayam saha Avidyaya mrityum tirtva Vidyaya amritam ashnute. Prabhu, you please read the translation.
Only one who can learn the process of nations and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality.
Both topics have to be known. Acharya will also speak about topics which are avidya. And Acharya will also speak about topics that are vidya. Both topics. But topics about vidya is where his perfection is. I hope you are able to understand. His perfection is in which domain? Vidya or avidya? Vidya. That's why we call him Acharya. He is our Acharya because in the domain of vidya he is perfect. So I hope that answers you. Wonderful. Thank you.
One last question by
Even Narada Muni said one of the purports, even though it Bhagavatam, without understanding the material nature, understand spiritualness is incomplete. There is one such statement.
Ishopanishad is full of vidya and avidya discussion. I didn't show the 9th mantra, that has big implication. Time is less, but this mantra proves.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is my niece asked this question a few years ago. She's 12 years now. Maybe when she was 10, she asks, like, why Balaram is drinking, right? Like Varuni. So then, why is the expectation that there is one of the 4 regulative principles?
Wonderful.
So somehow Rancho gave an answer, and I didn't get convinced, but I want to hear from you.
See, why is Shri Balram drinking Varuni, and in the material world we have to sacrifice Varuni? Why is it so? See, Balram can drink and we have to sacrifice Varuni. The reason for this is that in the material world, drinking, etc., puts us deeper within the modes of material nature. Tamogun, Rajogun. And that Tamogun and Rajogun is antithetical to bhakti. And because that Tamogun and Rajogun is antithetical to bhakti, therefore we avoid it. If drinking in the world would be favorable to bhakti, today we would have a drinking party here. I would be the first one to distribute instead of Barfi. But there is a problem in drinking in the material world. It is antithetical to bhakti because by drinking one becomes more and more absorbed in the material world. Otherwise, actually, personally, I have no problem with drinking. But the only problem I have is it absorbs a person in which world? Material. That is the problem I have. Therefore, that is the same problem that Acharyas have. And that leads to falsities, violence, etc. And Kali Yuga is personally sitting in it right now. That is the reason why it is avoided. In the spiritual world, the entire framework is of rasa. There is no material trace present there. So when intoxication occurs there, it increases the rasa instead of increasing the modes of material nature. Hence it is permitted there. I hope you are able to understand. That's the only difference. Actually, there is a verse in the Manusmriti. I will quickly quote and then we will pause. न मांस भक्षणे दोषो न मध्ये न च मैथुने प्रवृत्तिरेषा भूतानां निवृत्तिस्तु महाफला न मांस भक्षणे दोषो. There is no fault in eating meat. न मध्ये, no fault in drinking alcohol. न च मैथुने, no fault in relationship with the opposite gender. The only problem is pravritti resha bhutanam. It increases pravritti, absorption in the material world. Nivrittistu mahaphala. After coming out of the material world, nivritti, mahaphala, that is the great result you attain. Then later whatever you do, that will not matter. I hope you are able to understand. Right now there are some things which are absorbing you in the material world. Time being, for the time being. Okay? But we are not also like in some religion they said, here don't drink wine, there you will have wine. Huh? No, we are not like that. Huh? Here it will absorb you in the material world, there it will absorb you more and more in the spectrum of rasa. And that will also only when it is needed. It's not 24 hours drinking. Bhakti rasa is more intoxicating than drink. So we will pause here. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Only one question.
Only one question is
No, it's okay. Thank you very much, for giving us such a great knowledge. My question is related to Brahma. You said he didn't have any defects, right? He doesn't have any defects, right?
who doesn't have it?
Brahma.
Brahma?
Not Brahma.
Narayan doesn't have any defects.
So might be a question because I
Yeah.
don't have knowledge.
Bhagwan Vishnu doesn't have those defects. Sri Krishna has many of those defects. Voluntarily he has accepted for the sake of increasing love of his devotees. Okay, thank you. Jai. One question from you, Mataji. Sure.
It's like question is like one to do some service and like so many impediments is definitely will be there. So I know it will come, but I want to do. So what to do? Should I, what I do, I just doesn't matter. Push it, just do whatever. And but sometimes he's maybe looking maybe I want to do this because it's artificial.
Can somebody rephrase the question?
There are a lot of impediments on the bhakti. He's trying to do, but impediments are coming.
Okay.
So should I push those impediments away and forcefully continue my bhakti?
No forceful execution of bhakti. Sri Rupa Goswami doesn't recommend forceful execution of bhakti. Swavasana anusarena. Do according to swavasana, according to your innate happiness. Please don't do by force. One of the mistakes on the path of bhakti is prayas, over endeavor. Prayas vinashyati, bhakti vinashyati. It destroys bhakti. One should do according to one's happiness. Happily one should execute. Susukham kartum abhiraju. Not by force. Bhakti is a voluntary path. It is not by force. Little force is okay, but if daily there is force, there is some issue.
No, it's not mind force. It's like something will come which I don't want. Which I want to focus what I'm doing, but it will come. I know that.
Unexpected circumstances.
It will come. I know that. It will come. I try to do something way, but something else coming. But doesn't matter what I want to do it. So I just.
So Mataji, sometimes you can say no. There is very good thing in saying no. So there is a very nice Hindi phrase, ek na so sukh. What is it? Ek na so sukh. Say no once, enjoy hundreds of happiness. Mataji, for you, the mantra is why say yes when you can say no. That may be the mantra for you. I think that is the answer to you. Why say yes when you can say
No.
If you say no once, you will enjoy hundreds of happiness. Hundreds of happiness you will enjoy. I'll tell you one simple thing. I'm going to go back to Mumbai day after tomorrow. Just as I landed in Mumbai, there's one devotee who said, can you give a program next day? What should I say?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
I said no. So, ek na, so sukh. Now I will sleep happily in Mumbai. Mataji, why say yes when you can say
No.
I understand Prabhuji of the border, but the thing is that it's not like in the border. It's something like with parenting, maybe kids not hearing, maybe my husband not cooperative or something like this, which is
This looks like a very complicated family. So, my Mataji, when all members of the family are on the same page, if you are experiencing some difficulty because of responsibilities of family, it is better that all family members get together and decide the responsibilities and schedule in such a way that you are not troubled so much and others are also not troubled so much. So maybe you can say we need to have a family meeting, and in that family meeting we can decide what to do, what not to do. Okay, Mataji? Maybe some rescheduling is needed on the family level, but I cannot breach that boundary because I am just a guest who has come to eat sweets here.
And also distribute.
Distribution. First I will eat, na?
Hare Krishna. Let's give a big round of applause. Also, this is the last session by Hare Krishna Prabhu in this trip. So he's leaving tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock he's leaving. So we would like to show our appreciation and love for Hare Krishna Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And now Prabhu is going to distribute burfi. So please, cover
To everybody?
everybody only to me.
We both can divide half.
If Mataji allows.
Go upstairs, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.